baraka kwetu, haki iwe ngao na mlinzi, na tukae na undugu, amani na uhuru, raha tupate na ustawi. Amkeni ndugu zetu, tufanye sote bidii, nasi tujitoe kwa nguvu, nchi yetu ya Kenya tunayoipenda, tuwe tayari kuilinda. Na tujenge taifa letu, ndio wajibu wetu. Kenya istahili heshima, tuungane mikono pamoja kazini, kila siku tuwe na shukrani.
Oh yes, good evening. My name is Lekuyani. Alien going out is of course Fadhili Etulia. This is The Perspective coming to you live every single Thursday and Friday right here on Heart in Heart. Along the week we have been posting on social media handles on this young man that is daring to go to places that many will call meant for a chosen few. My guest tonight is an interesting young man because the first time I met him, actually, I met him on set being an actor. But today he's not here to act, he's here to live a life because the time is right to be a leader in this society. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my guest, Mr. Honorable Daniel Najoli. Good evening, sir, and how are you?
Good evening.
Wewe unakaa umechoka na campaign.
Hapana, sio sana, ni kujikaza tu.
Okay. I hear that a lot of times. I know it's the campaign period and you guys, okay, well, it's not really officially campaign period, but for aspirants like you, you must be having a busy day. What's your day like? Just give me a brief of your day when you wake up in the morning until the evening, if you don't mind. Before you actually introduce yourself.
Okay, Ellie, thanks for the opportunity. When I wake up, definitely you say a prayer, thanking God for the new day. Then after that, obviously each day has its itinerary, right? It's not like every day is the same. So what at the moment, what is given priority is basically the voter. So you wake up in the morning thinking, sleeping, and everything about the voter, how you'll help change lives in Kileleshwa.
I hope you're not becoming a hunter and a gatherer, because that's what you are always doing. You're hunting for both.
But hunting and gathering is life, right?
Right, that's very true.
It's life. And so basically when I wake up, I go do my businesses, because I'm self-employed at the moment. After doing my businesses, maybe during the morning hours, then after that, I go to the ground, meet and greet with my voters, at least listen to them, sharing my manifesto to them, and selling myself out to them.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
And after that is done, I believe you're headed home. But you know, Dan is not done until Dan introduces himself. So kindly, sir, this is your time to
Yes.
introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Dan Najoli. Dan Najoli is a journalist by profession, artist by passion, as you have said early, and leader by calling.
Leader by calling.
Yes.
Well, 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 that's a very tough calling, I must tell you, sir, because
Yes.
people expect things when you become a leader.
True.
Get us straight into it. Why
Yes.
running for the member of County Assembly, Kileleshwa, 2022?
Oh, okay, Eli. As I have said, I am a young man, 33 years of age, and born and raised in Kileleshwa, an area known as Kenya High. I know you know it, Kenya High School. My dad was working there. So by that factor, we lived in the school. So I've grown to see where Kileleshwa has come from, where it is now, and where it is going.
Yeah.
So by interacting with the members, with the residents of Kileleshwa, it reached a point I felt that things were not moving in front, because since I started voting in 2007, that was my first voting.
Same
I've
here.
seen the yeah, so we are age mates.
Well, not
I've seen,
precisely.
yes.
But that's fair enough to say. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So I've seen where Kileleshwa was, and I've seen the type of leadership that has been there. Sorry to say, Kileleshwa has been led by only one MCA ever since.
Are you
And,
talking about? I believe this is. If my name is, if my memory doesn't, is this Otieno or somebody there?
Yes, Elias Otieno Okumu.
Yes, that is Elias Otieno Amadi. Yeah, go ahead.
True. So he has been there ever since.
For the last 10
by
years.
being for the last 10 years, and by being there, I feel many things have not been been done right. And as a young man who has grown in Kileleshwa, I feel it's high time Kileleshwa people vote in one of their own, so that who understands where the region has, where the location has been, where it is, and where it is going. And that is why I made up my mind, at least to come out and tell people, I am here. Look, I'm one of you. I'm here, and I'm ready to take Kileleshwa to where we all want it to be. Yeah.
Well, I must say that is an ambitious calling you've called it, but only at 33. What can you offer the people of Kileleshwa? I mean, why do you think you stand a chance in the first place?
Okay. Number one, my manifesto, I have 4 points, 4 main agendas for the people of Kileleshwa. I term it as four big four agendas.
Four. Yeah.
Not like those ones of the president, but mine for the people of Kileleshwa. Number one, I'm targeting so much, Eli, on the youth. The youth of Kileleshwa, for a long time, have been left out, since I'm one of them. And being an artist, as you have said, fortunately we met during a performance. Being an artist, as you said, number one, I see so much talent in Kileleshwa that it goes into waste.
Yeah.
Like, there's no particular place in Kileleshwa, Eli, unfortunately, where one can go and for recreational services, and anywhere like for playing sports and growing their talent in. Like, I can tell you, Eli, for a fact that Kileleshwa has no social hall. Like, where weekends people
but I understand Kileleshwa is the only one of the very few areas that has a very a little square kilometers, if I could say that, and has a lot of blue chip companies. So these people have their own gyms. Why do you need social spaces, sir?
Okay, so these gyms are for people who, you know, what makes you go for a gym? There's a stage where if it was used well, definitely it couldn't lead to a point where you look for a gym.
Okay.
You get it? Because I believe many people go for gyms and all that are corporate people, as people put it. And keeping in mind, Kileleshwa has been termed as a leafy suburb, where it's for the who knows who, or who are who in the society. But that's not for a fact. When you come to the ground, it's very different. It's very far from that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So your main agenda will be promoting, one of the main agendas you have
Yes.
as if elected, is promote youth, sports, and arts. As an artist, do you
Yes,
feel that the young
Yes.
people have not really received the correct support when it comes to arts, and why?
Okay, this has been an issue for so long. Ellie, in fact, if you go to Kenya National Theatre, which is our main area of where we can all gather and at least unwind, it is so unfortunate that art in Kenya is only appreciated when needed. Take an example like Nigeria. Take a good example like Nigeria. Nigeria, when you appear into a film like an extra, not a main character, the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks you are driving. But look at Kenya. It's not only on the with the youth, but how many cases have you had, Ellie, of people above 40 who were once a household name, crying that, oh, they need help, oh, maybe they feel neglected, and they were once a household name when it comes to art. So I feel in Kenya, the government needs to do more in terms of promoting art and sports in the youth and the people at large. And that is why my main, being an artist, being one of them, I will first consider that. At least you have somewhere you can build it before you go into mainstream. At least you have an avenue.
Is this something that is within you as a person, or has this been an issue raised with the people in your environment? And in this case, I'm talking about the residents of Kileleshwa ward.
Kileleshwa, yes. Number one, it's within me. And number two, after going to the ground, as I told you, I usually do meet and greet almost daily with my voters. It has been raised because youths are asking me, okay, let's say weekend, you find many people are just indoors, or many people feel idle to the extent that they get into drugs and all that, because they don't have a place where they can go and unwind. Look at other constituencies. Let's say, for example, let me use Ruiru. There are TAFs. The government has done so much on TAFs. You get it? And at least when you go to during the weekends, you find youth and many people playing football. That is one way where people come together. It creates it keeps our minds busy, and in doing so, we can keep away those things like drugs. So in Kileleshwa, I'll liaise definitely, if elected, I'll liaise definitely with the area MP who will be there, so that we can create things like those in Kileleshwa, so that people can grow their talents. The only field Kileleshwa has is for Kileleshwa Primary, which at times, with all these COVID cases, you can't go into schools without the health protocol, right? And so it keeps off many of them.
But you politicians can have your meetings everywhere with no protocols.
But now, everybody, at least, or if not everyone, at least three-quarter people are vaccinated, right?
Does that then mean because we are vaccinated? Anyway, a story for another day, Mheshimiwa. I'll come to that. Let's just go back to your 4 points. You've mentioned sports, you've mentioned arts. What is, I've had the chance to go through your manifesto, sir. And one thing that I picked out is you talk about advocating for grants for small-scale businesses, Jua Kali. Do we even need Jua Kali funding in Kileleshwa, sir?
Okay, number one, Ellie, I can say, unfortunately, I can say you are in the same school of thought of many people who think that in Kileleshwa, it's all about the elite and all that. Yes, the haves in the society. But truth be told, Ellie, In Kileleshwa, we have a slum.
Okay.
And the people doing business in Kileleshwa are the people who we can say are averagely doing financially stable. And so those people, when you look at it, when you go to the ground, you see they have been left out in terms of how they do their businesses, the conditions in which they do their businesses. It's a pity. And being someone that have grown in Kileleshwa, I've been there and I've seen. It's just that at that moment I was not in a position to do anything, but now I'm in a position, and definitely I will like as we speak. I've contracted people to come and build. Can you imagine, Eli, first of all, doing business without sanitation in terms of where we can go and help ourselves? The kiosks that were built there were just built to facilitate those small scale businessmen and women without without keeping in so much focus on how sanitation is. And unajua, without sanitation, so much can come up, disease outbreak, etc. So the conditions there, first of all, are so poor, are so pathetic. The business owners have been left on their own. That is why in my agenda, I will liaise so much with the county administration to make sure these people take grants, rebuild, and focus so much on their businesses, because that is the economy of that area. Remember, this small scale, as one person said, shilingi iko katika jua kali. You get it? Yeah, so
Shilingi katika jua kali, sir. I'll just have to hold you on that for a moment. We take a very quick break. When we come back, I want us to quickly go through the last remaining 2 points. I know you have more of them, but then engage equally the audience that are watching tonight. Remember, this is The Perspective. My name is Likuyani Eli, and my guest of the night in The Perspective is Honorable Dan Najoli. And he says he's not yet done because he just got started. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we pick up the conversation on that spot.
No. Nilikwambia mambo ya Webuye. He said I heard that drama people are from Nairobi and Webuye and other serious towns, not Kimilili. So I decided to give it a try. By the way, was the first one, I think, from Kimilili who is serious about drama. The rest were from Webuye, Kitale, Bungoma, serious towns. Kimilili was just a place for circumcision.
Of course, you can catch Derek Wasua with his virtual reality show happening from February 6th, rather that is 4th and 6th of February this year at the Kenya National Theatre. When we talk about arts, that is one gentleman that knows how to go into it. But right about now, we have my guest who is speaking about his 4 pointers when he goes through election and wins that seat to become the new member of County Assembly for Kileleshwa Ward. What are his plans and how exactly does he intend to execute it? Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Dan Najoli. Karibu sana mheshimiwa. I hope umeweza kumeza mate kidogo kwa sababu hapa hatupeani juice.
Ndio.
So if you may, sir, allow me to go quickly through some of the comments that are coming in. We have someone here called Soccer Fans Banter says, tuned. Good to see you, mheshimiwa. Okay, wewe kumbe umekuja na watu yako ya squad. Gilbert Were is asking you, sir, what is the qualification to be an MCA? Clearly you want to tell us how did you qualify, or is it because you have to know who is who in this community? Why do you think the youth in Kile are left out? Is it where most well-up Wadosi people live? Rather, well-off Wadosi live. Mbona vijana wameachwa hivi hivi? Keith Muteu says, wish my boy all the best. The sky is the limit. OMG. The sky is the limit, remember, sir? And you have a long way to go. Now, umekumbushwa hapa na Kipro says, vaccination doesn't mean that you can't get the virus. So, the three-quarter thing you say, save it for another political day. But for now, Let's hear your
Yes.
manifesto, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My manifesto, as I was saying earlier, the 4-point agenda is number one, improve the promoting youth in talent and arts. Number two is advocating small-scale grants for businesses within Kileleshwa, which I've explained before we took the break. Number three is infrastructure. Infrastructure here basically meaning roads.
Yeah.
When you take a walk in Kileleshwa, they are the main roads which are under Kura, the organization, the
Kenya
national
Urban
government. I
Roads
can say.
Authority. Yes.
Yes. They are in a pathetic condition. A pathetic condition. When I say pathetic, it means pathetic.
Because
And,
you have big
you
cars.
know, as
You
a-
have big cars in Kileleshwa.
Not necessarily.
I know you're
There are
trying to
also
be
matatus
humble.
in
I know you,
Kileleshwa.
sir.
There are also matatus in Kileleshwa early. So what I'm saying is the roads are because it's not in our mandate as the county government to work on that. But I will liaise with the county government so that the national government definitely comes and checks looks at the state of the road in Kileleshwa, because Kileleshwa is, as you have said, is a business hub, and the many offices and the economy is flowing in Kileleshwa. So our roads must be okay. And the issue here, when you go to the ground and from the one-on-one meet and greet I have with the people on the ground, the issue here, the mistake that we have made for years is electing people who are not in Kileleshwa, who have not been into Kileleshwa, who have not grown in Kileleshwa, to handle matters Kileleshwa. Definitely.
So what are you trying to tell us? What are you trying to tell us that you're not saying?
Okay, what I'm trying to say is Elias has done a good job to some extent, but let's pinpoint where he has failed. He has failed in terms of, as I was telling you earlier, the business side of it. The business side of it in terms of advocating, keeping the business owners into mind. Number two, in terms of his infrastructure, because here is a person who is an outsider, right? And
I don't
after
understand
election,
the word outsider, sir.
outsider.
Please put it in plain English.
He is not part and parcel of Kileleshwa.
Because he just found himself an MCA. You people of Kileleshwa elected him
Yes,
for 2 consecutive terms, sir.
That is why I've started by saying that is the mistake we, the voters, did. But we realized, even you, Eli, there are mistakes you did, and you sit back and say, oh my God, what is this that I did? So what happens is, Elias was coming all the way with voters from the neighboring wards to register into Kileleshwa and vote him in. After getting the votes, he goes. We see him after 5 years.
But that's a common practice in the political
that is why
field, you are not new to this. We have members of parliament that are elected in the villages, but they live in Nairobi. All in the name of they are doing their parliamentary responsibilities. So I think Elias was just flowing and working with the system.
Yes.
My question here will be, what are you going to do different other than this other incumbent that has been in power that will make you different from the rest, sir?
Okay. Mine is implementation. Mimi ni ule wa kusema na kutenda. Implementation in terms of, I've been there, I've grown there, so I know if the road is bad, it's going to affect me because I stayed there and I've been a member, and I want to see Kileleshwa grow for the sake of our children, for the sake of the coming generation. That is why my main point is I have Kileleshwa at heart, and I will make sure it is done, because even not for the sake of wanting to vie again after 5 years, but for the sake of the coming generation who are coming to live and stay in Kileleshwa early.
Fair enough, sir. Let me bring you now to the real issue that we believe are facing the people of Kileleshwa. With about 9 square kilometers, of area and an estimated 27,000 population, the issue of insecurity has been a major concern to the people of Kileleshwa. I know you do not sit on the National Security Council, but in your capacity and through your meet and greet, what are
Yes.
your intentions towards this perennial issue in Kileleshwa?
Okay. Number one, Kileleshwa is surrounded by one police station, which is Kileleshwa Police Station. And currently, as we speak, I'm in talks with the OCS Kileleshwa because that has been a major issue ever since. And many people claim it's because Kileleshwa is in the middle, surrounded. You know, Kileleshwa is near Kawangware, Gatina, and all that. So the major issues by the voters, the members, the people staying in Kileleshwa has been that people who come to do business in Kileleshwa are the ones that come to do what? That cause insecurity. But through the OCS, as we speak, as I told you, I'm having talks with the OCS. I've been having talks with the OCS to deal with that because a business cannot go, an area cannot grow where there's insecurity, as you have said. So at the moment, even if I'm not sitting on that security panel, but at least I'm on the right people. I'm in the right people who are going to deal with it. Eli.
Great. Sir, that is fairly answered. And
Yes.
that brings me to the other aspect you said of you creating grants. We have people that we believe are not able to afford a normal standard of living because Kileleshwa, as we say, or
Yes.
we assume,
Yes.
was meant for the who are who in the society. That tells you why all or most of the blue chip companies are in Kileleshwa. How then do we make sure that we actually cater for this small, if I could say, excluded community that feels not included in the plans of Kileleshwa ward?
Okay. By empowering. And by empowering means, you can have an idea early on how to start a business, but you don't have the capital, right? On how to start that, which will enable you start that business. So number one, I will make sure there are these grants that the county government, in terms of funding, whenever funding is given by the county government to come into ward, I'll make sure there's equitable distribution of those funds trickling down to Kileleshwa, because as you have said, being in Dagoretti North constituency and being surrounded by wards like Kawangware, Gatina, Kilimani, majority think that whenever there's distribution of resources, it does not need to come down to the people of Kileleshwa because the people of Kileleshwa are well off. But truth be said, I will advocate for equality in distribution of those resources, be it bursary, be it those funds that I'm talking about, so that my people, those people who cannot afford a meal a day, or those people who cannot afford 3 meals a day, at least they get something that to empower themselves, so that they can be able to now feed themselves. Because I believe, Eli, I can't come and give you 1,000 that will eat within 2 hours, and again tomorrow morning you're hungry. Better I empower you, give you something that will be able to feed you for almost a year. By that, I believe I'll be helping.
And does that include what you politicians do? Give a 50 shillings every time you're coming for campaign? Or actually having stable programs for that?
I'm one person. Even if you go to the ground now, any voter who is from Kileleshwa can tell you, I'm one person who disagrees with that mentality of tokenism in politics. Tokenism is, I can't give you 50 shillings so that you vote for me. That is buying your vote, right?
Yeah.
And whenever I buy your vote early, I'll be entitled to it. That is why you have had faces like these politicians. When we vote for them, after 5 years, they leave. We don't see them until the 4th, 5th year, right? It's because of that tokenism in politics, which I'm against about. I'm fighting really hard to end it. Because in Kenya, it's so sad that when you hear a politician, the first statement you hear is, anatoa pesa ngapi? Ama leo amekuja aje? You know, that is politics that we need to forget about and bury it in the sand. At least vote for me because
as long as
yes.
Mr. Politician, you give incentives that make the wananchi have this normal livelihood, we wouldn't hear those stories umekuja na ngapi. But before we do that, I want to take you back to where we all began. And you mentioned about outsiders. And somebody reminds me, before we get it wrong, where and how do we avoid hate speech? Let's take a listen in and we'll be back after this. In the meantime, continue sending in your comments as we review them after this break. Take a listen.
We all have to remember that hate crimes is preceded by hate speech. We all have to remember that the genocide of the Tutsis in Rwanda started with hate speech. The Holocaust did not start with the gas chambers. It started long before with hate speech. What we have been seeing in Myanmar against the Rohingya population started also with hate speech. And today, what we are witnessing around this world, with the rise of extremists, be it in Europe, be it in Asia, everywhere, when we see the growing number of neo-Nazi group, neo-fascist group, when we see the way migrants and refugees are being vilified, we need therefore to make every effort to address this hate speech. We have to bear in mind that words kill. Words kill as bullets. And that is why we need to make every effort to invest on education, to invest on the youth, so that the next generation will understand the importance of living peacefully together. We need to make every effort so that the attacks like the one we have witnessed in Sri Lanka, when churches were attacked, the one we witnessed in New Zealand, what we saw in Pittsburgh, all this has to stop. And to stop it, we need to invest more on mobilizing the youth. We need to use the verb to become a tool for peace, a tool for love, a tool for increasing social cohesion, harmony in our world, instead of being a tool for committing genocide, crimes against humanity.
And that's courtesy of the UNHCR. I hope you guys heard those words. Words kill. Kill better than bullets, if I would say. With me is Honorable Dan Ajoli, the aspirant for Kileleshwa, member of County Assembly 2022. Na kuna vita zinaendelea YouTube. Let's just bring them on. Sorry to say this, but do all politicians focus on the same things? Tutatengeneza barabara, tutafanya this and that. We need to hear new ideas. You are a young aspirant. Sir, what do you want to say about that?
Okay. It's Rhoda, right?
Kipro. Yes, Rhoda. Yeah.
So, you know, you can't tackle what is not a problem, right? I can be a young aspirant, yes, with great ideas, but first of all, I need to tackle what is there. And what is there is what helps me make my manifesto. Before I make my manifesto, Eli, I must go to the ground, hear out my people, hear their problems. And sorry to say, the problems are the same. Be it in Kileleshwa, be it in Ruma, be it in Kitengela, the problems are the same. And first, what we need to do is tackle the problem that is there so that we can impose our new and fresh ideas as young leaders.
Is this the proverbial using same technique and formula and expecting different results? Or what is your formula that will make a different result?
Okay, first of all, Eli, about making a different result, no idea is fresh. As an artist, you know that no idea is fresh, right? It's how you tackle the idea that brings the freshness in it.
Yeah.
So my handling of things by word of mouth may look the same, But how I'll handle it is first keeping the voter first, which is very, very, as many voters can say, it is very, very unusual of the politician. With my party believes in one thing, Eli, Utu. Above all, above being a politician, I'm a human being, right? And I must involve that humanly affair, that Utu in me, when dealing with my voters. So by doing that, definitely I'll get to understand what these voters want. Be it the problems are the same, yes, but I'll first get to understand what my voters want, and by doing that, I know how to handle them.
Great, sir. For now, I will not dwell into your party's ideologies, but I will dwell into your ideology of Utu. And hate speech has been a problem from many of us, politicians, even the voters ourselves. And this, we are told, it is where problems begin. Kenya is not different. We've seen what it has done in 1992. We've seen it in 1997. We've seen it 2022. We've seen it even worse in 2007. I mean, rather 2002 and 2007. So, sir, where do you stand when it comes to matter hate speech?
Okay, being a human being first, a politician second, you must be human. Even if you're not my brother, I must have the humanly heart to understand you. And no one in his right senses can be for hate speech, because we know what hate speech did to this country in 2007, and it was terrible. It was terrible. Most of us, we lost our relatives, lost our friends out of that, and we can't as a country, we cannot allow to go back there. So I'm with EACC. Whoever comes out openly with all those hate speech and all that, that is not a leader and must be dealt with the full arms of the law. And
be careful what you say, sir.
Yes.
Because
I'm
be
very
careful
careful
what you say, because I am getting a different communication from you. You just told me the other minute a lot of people that are not from this so-called area come in and they make decisions on behalf of the residents. Where do you strike a balance between having the residents address their issues and looking as though you're advocating for a competitor that is not within your findings or your confines to actually come and be a leader, because that is what Kenya gives all of us, equal opportunities?
Okay, number one, Eli, I'm very keen on my word, because you need to draw the difference between speaking the truth and hate speech. And Eli, truth be told, this I'm expressing what my people are expressing on the ground. It's just that they haven't gotten an opportunity to come out and say it. You know, there's a difference, like Dan coming from Kileleshwa, but going to vie in Umoja.
Yeah.
However much there is equal responsibilities and equal everything amongst everyone, it beats no sense for me to come out from Kileleshwa to go and vie in Umoja. Yet I don't. Number one, I don't know even the problem that the people of Umoja are facing. Yeah. Number two, it is better if I vie in Kileleshwa, because I've stayed in Kileleshwa and I know, have been part of the problems that people are facing. I've seen them. So it makes me in a greater position to handle them, because I know where it pinches, because I've been in those shoes, right? So that is not inciting anybody that people should not come to vie in Kileleshwa because they are not in Kileleshwa. But what I'm saying is, people need Kileleshwa people to vie for that seat, because they are the same people who understand the problem of that place, and they'll be able to handle it.
Well, I will say that's a political answer. Thank you so much, sir. I will take you to the comment section. Let's see
Yes.
what the individuals there are contributing to the discussion. And thank you so much, everyone that is joining us. In case this is your very, very first time here, we have the perspective every single Thursday where we discuss various issues. And tonight, especially leadership, and of course we are focusing on youth. You can follow us on Facebook, The Arts in Heart, that is The Arts in Heart, on Instagram, The Arts in Heart Official on YouTube, and of course, without forgetting, send us drop us an email, theartsinheart@gmail.com. Mheshimiwa Dana Jolly is Dana Jolly or Daniel Jolly on Facebook, and of course, if you're from Kileleshwa, he's asking for your vote. The question is he worth your vote? We'll be finding out as we continue the conversation. Mheshimiwa, kwani umesema likes like it's not a leafy suburb, yani mheshimiwa, yani hii Kile is not a leafy suburb anymore, imebaki ya watu wa kawaida. Okay, there's a question here, but I'm not sure if you'll be answering to it. Will Ruto be the president? Just asking for me and others. Okay, Carol, that is not for me to answer. We'll find out if Mheshimiwa will respond to that. Let's see. I like the fact that you are not lying in terms of saying you fix the roads because it ain't your job, but you can liaise with the concerned party. Politicians lie through their teeth, and for this you get your marks because that is not your job. Other people will come here to say, nitatengeneza barabara, and it is not in their docket. Thank you so much for being who you are.
True.
Yes.
Yes.
Sema, wow, this is deep, man. Words kill. Definitely that is from the clip we were airing earlier on. Kijana D, in Leo tuko na wewe. Thank you so much. That is Cosma Baro. Asante sana, watching us live on YouTube. Let's see what Matasio says. I have one question for Mheshimiwa. What is in it, politics, for you personally, yenye unafanyia wananchi, tukuulize after 5 years? Wewe tu kama mwana siasa wewe individually, what is in it for you? And finally we have Jekito who says, interesting show, Art in Heart, the perspective. That is our hashtag in this program. Yes, sir. Which one do you want to start with? I know time is not really on your end, but I will allow you to respond.
Okay. Okay. No
What is in for you?
Thank you, Ellie, and thank you for the viewers for sharing. Okay, my in thing is delivering services to my people, and not after I'm elected, even before I'm elected, have started doing projects on the ground. When you go to Kileleshwa, ask those small scale traders. Like those areas I've told you, they don't have even toilets to go to, yet there are people who spend almost all their days in a week, almost 5 days on that place. So I've started, I've liaised with the organizations that are responsible. At least we set up sanitary places for them, at least to feel safe and feel in a clean, hygienic condition while doing their businesses. So as a leader, I don't believe in waiting to be elected to do. I do even before I'm elected, so that even if I'm not elected, at least my heart will be easy. It will be happy. At least I knew I helped I helped the community.
You mentioned you're self-employed, sir, and politics is a very, very expensive affair. How are you financing your campaigns?
Okay. The mentality that politics is a very expensive affair, that is in a mentality on the people's mind. I had that mentality before joining politics early. But
it's not expensive ground, like we assume.
It's not expensive.
Is it because somebody else is funding it?
Okay, maybe we can say, there are people who believe in my dream of becoming the leader for Kileleshwa, and so at least they are holding my hand in one way or another. But if you are a leader and people love you, trust me, they'll vote you in even without spending those millions that people spend. Yes.
So it's not expensive.
It's fairly. It's not extremely expensive. It's just obviously everything has a budget, right? It's manageable.
does.
That is what I can say. Yeah,
Yes, it does.
it's manageable.
Does that tell us? Then that doesn't tell us why once you guys get elected, you become the political holders of those offices. You want pay rises. Will you be one of those people asking for more money to your pockets, or will you be asking for more money to the people?
Definitely, more money to the people makes a day, right? The moment you see politicians, like we have seen before, demanding a pay rise in one way or another, it's not all, really. It's not all, but definitely the common mwananchi will categorize all of them into one. But trust me, within those people demanding for the pay rise, there are few individuals who better go without a pay, but at least deliver services to the common mwananchi. And mark my words, I'll be among those few. Yes.
Martin Agade has a question for you, and I will take this before I go to Africans Production. He asks, Dan Ajoli, that is honorable, what is your stand on legalization of marijuana and your opinion on the thousands of increased persons in prison because of a drug intentionally, legally, and medically endorsed? I believe Mheshimiwa might have tackled the technical aspect of this, but of course we'll allow him to answer that. Just a second before we can have him back. I hope you are sorted out, sir. If you are, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay. Inajua hizi vitu hufanya ile kitu. But then again, this is the perspective. And let's get to other questions we have. What is your take on activities for the youth in Kileleshwa Ward? And of course, earlier on, that is Africana's production, Dan really explained what his agenda is for the young people. You can always get this in our cast once we are done, or replay if you want to. Let's see, great conversation. There are no activities in our ward for the youth. Okay, definitely. Let's find out what he says once he joins the cast. Who is here? Cynthia Cheruto. Good evening to you. Cynthia says, I believe youth have a capacity to lead Kenya. We believe in you, Dan. Thank you so much. And we have this and more conversation every single Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday during this long break that Art in Heart is taking. But as we resume in February the 11th, we start with what we call the Valentine's edition. Are you ready? Prepared for this? I have no idea, because it's going to be an amazing experience. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't. And if you have, remember to turn on the notification bell so that every time we go live, you get to know we are live. Mheshimiwa Dan Ajoli, naona anataka kuniambia signs and symptoms za kuchomoka studio zinafika, but it's all right, sir.
Sorry for that.
You want
Sorry
to
for
answer,
that.
and actually, before I can let you loose, sir, do you want to respond to Martin's question?
Okay, pardon, what was the question, kindly?
The question is, what is your stand on the legalization of marijuana and your opinion on the thousands of increased persons in prison because of a drug internationally, legally, and medically endorsed?
Okay. Thank you so much for that. And Martin is a good friend, and I think he has asked that question personally.
Yeah, he wants to know if you are if you'll be making him, if you'll be arresting him with your OCS or not.
Okay, so marijuana, you know, each country has its laws, right? And in Kenya, we are yet to legalize it. So I'm not in a position to say yes, marijuana is legal, and those people who are imprisoned for it to be declared free. I'm not in a position to say that. Internationally, it is declared, and it's okay to use marijuana in public and everything. But in Kenya, we are not yet there. And being a third world country, let's wait. Let's have hope.
No,
we always live on hope.
No, that's fair enough. And you cannot say international, because not everywhere. But though
Yeah,
That was
true.
very specific. It has been internationally recognized and legally and medically
Yes,
endorsed product.
yes,
But then
yes.
I think Martin is asking from the aspect, and that's a big if, that
Mm.
what would be your position in the legalization of the same in Kenya?
Okay, basically, being a journalist, and I'll definitely take advice from doctors and all those involved in health, seeing the health
Clearly,
perspective of
please
marijuana.
don't call yourself a journalist. You are no longer one. We disown you. You are now a politician because that's very
So,
political.
okay, when time comes early, if we see sense in after being advised, definitely, at least maybe if we see sense in it, we will support, and if not, we'll tell the people why it is not being legalized, and this are the effects. Being Kenya, because in Kenya, when you go to rehabs, you can get, it's one of the causes, main causes why people are in rehab, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when laws are made, there are certain conditions that are checked. And first of all, maybe they'll have to deal with that so that they legalize it in Kenya. So when that time comes, Martin, and early, I know where my stand will be after checking on those conditions.
So for now, you'll be playing safe.
Yeah,
Okay, fine, Sam.
for now, yeah.
Well, before we close the curtains on this, do you have any specific message to the people of Kileleshwa?
Okay, first of all, Ellie, thanks for the opportunity. It's rare to get such opportunities. And for my people in Kileleshwa, I believe in what I go for. As I've told you time and again, this is the right time to bring youth into that leadership, to understand your needs and to make them come true. And kindly, before anything else, the voter registration is on. It is ending on 6th February. And we cannot, I can discuss with you the whole day about my ambitions and all that. But if you don't have your vote, then definitely that is not being patriotic. It is this chance that you get to elect the leaders that you want and those that will bring the change that you need in Kileleshwa. So kindly go for that, for registration. You can go, the polling stations are in Kileleshwa Primary, Kenya High, Consolata Primary, JKUAT Nairobi campus, and St. Mary's School. The process is less than 5 minutes, you're done. At least by having that, by being registered, you have the opportunity to choose me as your leader, and I'll definitely implement what I've been telling you ever since I began campaigning.
Awesome. And actually, just that you've spoken about the fact that people need to register, I also want to remind all of those international, voters that are eligible to vote that voting is ongoing with your respective consulates within your region. So check out on the embassies, your embassy's websites, and of course the IEBC, where those polling stations have been published. But for those, you'll be only voting for your president. Who are you voting for, Dan?
Your vote is your secret. True or false? But as for now, Eli, true or false?
Yeah.
True, right? But
I have no
idea. I go with what my party believes in, and my party leader is one Gideon Moi.
Yeah.
And for me, I know Gideon Moi is my president until he advises me so. Otherwise, if he advises me to go left, I'll go left. If he tells me to go right, I'll go right. Yes, but for now, I live for the party's vision, and for now, Gideon Moi is my president.
What is your tagline in this election campaign?
My tagline is Kijana Fresh, Kileleshwa Mpya. We need fresh minds in Kileleshwa. Yeah, that is why I've tagged myself Kijana Fresh, Kileleshwa Mpya. Yeah.
Kijana Fresh, Kileleshwa Mpya, na amekuja hapa kutuambia maoni yake na what he's going to do for the people of Kileleshwa. I know we could not have exhausted everything you wanted to speak in this 1 hour.
Just a point, Eli.
Yes, sir.
Eli, just to cut you short, sorry. I've remembered I was in Kenya High in the better part of today, and I regret that IBC are not there. people are there wanting to be registered as voters, but they have not sent a tent there. So it's high time at least they are held responsible, because many people are out to register as voters. And when you go to a polling center and find that IEBC are not there, that shows sluggishness when it comes to the government side.
Okay, we are asking IEBC to leave and present your promise to the people of Kenya, because these young people want to elect their leaders. And that's why I'm a bit hesitant traveling to Germany to register, hoping and wishing that actually they live to the promise that we will have our registrations ongoing. But for those who have registered, let us know. Have you registered, and do you plan to vote come August 2022 polls? For now, I'm going to leave you to go and enjoy your evening in peace, because I know you have a long day coming tomorrow. And thank you so much, Honorable Najoli, for coming to our studios tonight and sharing your vision for the people of Kileleshwa with our audience.
Thank you.
Any specific request from us?
Continue doing the great thing.
Watu.
Obvious, nasalimia number one, nasalimia kila mtu wa Kileleshwa. Definitely. Those are my people. And and everybody else who knows me, believe in my dream, and I know we'll make it.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming, and have yourself a great, great evening. That was Honorable Dan Najoli, the man who wants to clinch that seat from the incumbent, and he says he is fit for the job. If you feel he's fit for the job, you know what to do. And as a Kileleshwa resident, probably you need to speak to him and find out what else he has for you as a resident. For now, I'm going to let you enjoy yourself until tomorrow, which is the perspective. We bring you matters that matter to all of us, matters of the heart. See you tomorrow from 9:30 p.m. East African time, and that is 7:30 Central European time, right here on Heart in Heart. My name, as always, is Likuyani Eli. I'll let you with this from Fadhili Itulia. Good night, and God bless you.
Baraka kwetu, haki iwe ngao na mlinzi, na tukae na undugu, amani na uhuru, raha tupate na ustawi.